first thing I do is I go to check out the Twitch Partner Lounge because I hadn't eaten yet, and I wanted to see if they had any food for me to steal. And sure enough, they did. They had set up a whole little buffet that, in hindsight, I don't know if I was supposed to eat, but I did anyway. And they had like breakfast sandwiches. They had all kinds of drinks, but they weren't cold. So they instead had like a little vat of ice and then cups. There's probably like 20 people in the partner lounge at this point. Like nobody I recognize except Baby No Money there for some reason. So I walk up and I get a breakfast sandwich and I get a cup of ice and I get a Diet Pepsi with the intention of walking back. This is me walking back to like a little table and enjoying this breakfast sandwich and my drink. This is Friday morning. This is the first day of the convention. I have not spoken to anybody at the convention so far, and I have wound up at the Twitch Partner Lounge. I get a cup of ice for my Diet Pepsi, a breakfast sandwich, and I have both in my hands. Here, I will do a recreation for you. This pork chop is my breakfast sandwich, and this bucket is my cup of ice. This is perfect. God, I am a storyteller. Where they had put all of this was on like a rooftop kind of thing. Like we were out in the sun. We were outside, and much like in Minecraft, the sun was beating down on us, and it was very hot and it was very sunny. There was a girl sitting at a table. They had set up a bunch of tables out on this patio, including one where Baby No Money was sitting, although there was an umbrella there. And I considered briefly sitting at a table nearby, but because I was sitting by myself and he was with a group of people, I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here. So I did. I was gonna go inside. But anyway, there's a woman sitting on a table outside, and in the spirit of I'm at a convention by myself and I want to maybe make friends and talk to people, I say to her, I'm like, hey, do you know if we're like able to sit inside? Just as a cute little conversation starter. And she was like, yeah, I think so. She was like, I'm just enjoying the sun. And I was like, yeah, good for, I like gestured to myself. I was like, yeah, I'll get a sunburn. I'm way too white to sit out here, but you know. And she had one of the like clip that has like a little sprout on it. Do you know what I'm talking about here? That you can like clip onto your hat or clip onto like your backpack or something, and it's like a little sprouted plant. She had one on her head. And so still holding my cup of ice, I gesture to the top of my head and I say, clearly the sunlight's working, you've grown a little plant. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so clever and funny. Except I am holding a cup of ice and I am now gesturing to the top of my head and I spill my cup of ice all over me and onto this patio in front of this girl. And she's like, oh. And I was like, oh, what a great way to start things off. Anyway, so the girl, I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I'm like, I'm gonna go eat my breakfast sandwich inside, away from the sun and away from this, you know, rapidly growing puddle of ice water. And she's like, I'll go with you. And so she follows me inside and we eat our breakfast sandwiches together. And, you know, we talk about Twitch and streaming. The conversation that followed was very nice. I do think she was a little freaked out by me because I was very obviously incredibly nervous and also really embarrassed. And so I think she was kind of like, is this girl okay? Like, if I leave her alone, is something bad gonna happen? But yeah, she was very nice. But anyway, that's how I started my convention. This is like literally the first thing that happened to me.